Good morning, friends. Welcome back to our fourth session on SPSS package. And this particular session, as I shared with you the last time, we will continue our parametric analysis in SPSS. The last session we talked about independent sample t-test, paired sample t-test, one-way ANOVA with post-hoc analysis, and we had even seen two-way ANOVA. Here in this session, I would like to concentrate on two things. One is correlation and another one is regression. So correlation and regression are the two things which I would like to talk about today. Before we get into the practical aspects, let me tell and share something about correlation with you all. See, correlation is a study which we conducted when you have two variables, one independent variable and one dependent variable, and both the variables are numeric in nature. So both are numbers, and both these variables need to be normally distributed, as we discussed already. You may raise a question, sir, you have been talking about this particular concept, normally distributed data, something like that. So actually, what does it mean? It means that when you say that a data is normally distributed, this is what normally we see in our world, a real life situation. For example, if you take a class of 40 students, out of 40 students, there will be 10 students, those they are extra brilliant. They don't need any coaching and they will read and learn anything by themselves. They don't want any other help. At another extreme, we have got another 10 children in the class. Irrespective of the strenuous works taken with the teachers, they all will fail. You cannot do anything. The remaining children, 20 children, they're average. They'll get 35, 40, 40, they'll pass. This is a normal class. The same way, when you collect data from the respondents, your data also will somewhat resemble this way. That means there'll be very few extreme low cases. There'll be very few extreme high cases. And a majority of cases will be having an average level of respondents. That's why we say it's a normally distributed data. Here, when you have two variables, both are numeric, under correlation, we are going to discuss only about the linear relationship that may exist between these two variables. Not any other relationship, only linear relationship. We don't study about cubic relation or non-linear relation, no. Only linear relationship is studied here. The question comes here, what is that linear relationship? It means that when there is an increase in one variable, correspondingly there will be an increase in another variable. Or when there is a corresponding decrease in one variable, that will lead to same kind of decrease in the other variable. Otherwise, when one variable is increasing, the other variable may be decreasing. So this kind of relationship is termed as linear relationship. And the relationship that may exist between the variables may be either positive or negative. If there's a positive relation, correlation, as I already told you, when there is an increase in the one value, the other value will also increases. For example, when you spend more and more time in the preparation of examination, your marks will be higher and higher. When you have less number of hours in preparing yourself for the examination, and obviously your marks also will be very less. This is a positive correlation. What is a negative correlation? When one variable is increasing, the other variable is decreasing. For example, you take a car, you fill the petrol, and you go to a long travel. So what is the relation between these two variables? The quantity of petrol available in petrol tank and the number of kilometers yet to be traveled. If you see this, when the quantity of petrol in the petrol tank keeps on decreasing, the number of kilometers you have traveled keeps on increasing. This is a negative correlation. So in correlation, we are going to study whether these two variables are positively correlated or negatively correlated. And we have two different kinds of correlation. One is bivariate correlation, which is popularly known as Pearson correlation coefficient. where we study the correlation existing between two variables. Fine. And there is something called partial correlation, where we take three variables into consideration. Actually, we want to measure the correlation between only two variables by excluding the effect of third variable. For example, the marks scored by the students may be attributed to many reasons. Number of hours they study, their score of intelligence also. An intelligent student naturally will spend more time and will score high marks. The one which is who is having a lesser IQ, lesser intelligence, will spend less time, he will score less marks. So intelligence score also, level of intelligence also affects the marks scored by the students. So now I have collected data about three variables: number of hours spent by the students, their intelligence score, and the science exam marks they scored. Now I would like to see what is the correlation between two variables: marks scored by the students in science exam and the number of hours they spent in a particular week, excluding the effect of intelligence. So I don't want the impact of intelligence to be reflected in this correlation. I want to keep away the effect of third variable, namely intelligence, and I want to see the correlation between these two variables. Is it fine? And this is what we call partial correlation. This class, let us discuss about these two correlations. Let's get to the practical session now. Let us go to SPSS package. I'll just click on open another file. Click OK. Let me go to the place where I have kept my file. I go to desktop, SPSS online course, final data set, and I click on correlation. Open. So file is open now. Let us see the variables. Here you can see your study time, average study hours spent by students in a couple of weeks, marks scored by them in science examination, and their intelligence score. Fine. Now I would like to conduct a correlation to test whether is there any correlation between these two variables, study time and marks scored at the science examination. To do so, go to analyze, go to correlate, and select bivariate. Once again, go to analyze, correlate, and click on bivariate. You select two variables for which you like to find out the correlation. So study time, click science marks, click the arrow. Now both the variables are sent to variables box. Here are options. If you want mean standard deviations for these two variables, you can select here, click continue. And here under correlation coefficient, you can by default Pearson is selected. You can leave it as such. Here flag significant correlations means if the correlation is significant, and that will be indicator. And here you can decide whether you want to conduct two-tailed test or one-tailed test. Actually, what does it mean? See, if your hypothesis is directional, go for one-tailed. If your hypothesis is non-directional, go for two-tailed. What is the difference between these two? See, your hypothesis states that there is a correlation between study time and science marks. So if you are very clear with this idea, you are pretty sure that there is a correlation you want to check. So you can go for one-tailed test. You are having confusion whether there will be a correlation between these two variables or not. There may be correlation, there may not be correlation. If you frame such a kind of hypothesis, your hypothesis intention is to check whether there is a relationship or not, then you can go for two-tailed. Okay. By default, SPSS has selected two-tailed. Now, I would like to select one-tailed because I am pretty sure that there is a correlation between study time and science marks. But only thing is I want to check to what extent, how significantly these are correlated. So I have very direction-based hypothesis. So I select one-tailed test, then give a click on OK. Let us see the answer here on the screen. The first box is descriptive. It says mean time of study time and mean science marks, standard deviation of both the variables. Let us come back to the main statistical output box correlation. You can see here, the study time is correlated with study time. So obviously it is 1, correlation is 1. When study time is correlated with science marks, we can see the Pearson correlation score is 0.721. So the answer is positive. It means that there is a positive correlation between study time and marks scored by the students in science examinations. And it's 0.721. It means that there is a very good correlation between these two variables. The next one to be looked down is the SIG one-tailed value. You can see the SIG value, it is 0.009. It means that the SIG value is less than the significant level of, the p-value is less than the significant level of 0.05. It means that the null hypothesis is rejected and alternative hypothesis accepted. That means there is a correlation between study time of the students and the science marks they scored in the examination. Fine. And the reverse of this is available in the second part of this table. Fine. The correlation is significant. You can see a note here with the 2 star marks. Correlation is significant at the 0.01 level one-tailed test. Fine. So we could understand that there is a correlation between these two variables. Fine. The first thing I would like to tell you. And the second part is talking to you. Let us discuss about partial correlation. I told you here there are 3 variables: study time, science, and intelligence scores. How intelligent is a child is, that is measured. Now I want to see whether is there any correlation between study time and science marks, excluding the effect of intelligence. I know very well intelligence plays a vital role both in the study time of the students and the marks scored by the students. But I would like to exclude the effect of intelligence, and I want to see whether really the variation in the science marks is exclusively due to study time. I want to check. Okay, very simple. Studying about the correlation between 2 variables, excluding the effect of one variable. That is what we call as partial correlation. Where to go? Go to analyze. In analyze, come to correlate. In correlate, you can select partial correlation. Once again, analyze, correlate, and partial correlation. Here, I want to see the correlation between these 2 variables, study time and science marks. What is the variable I would like to control for? Intelligence score. So you select the variable you want to control, you want to exclude the effect of, and send it to the box controlling for, and send the 2 variables to the variable box. Once this is over, you can decide whether you want to conduct 2-tailed or 1-tailed. Maybe I am not sure whether there will be a actual correlation between these 2 variables when intelligence score is excluded. So I'm not sure about it. So let me have it as a 2-tailed test. Okay. Then let me select options. If you want to mean, you can select mean, click continue. And once these things are set, click OK to see the results. You can see the result here, partial correlation, and they have given the mean variable for both study time science marks and intelligence scores. And here in the correlation box, you can see the result of this particular test. You can see here, intelligence is a control variable. And when you see study time and the science marks, you can see there is a correlation, of course. There's a positive correlation, 0.665. But when you see the SIG value, a 2-tailed SIG value, you can see that the SIG value is 0.051. Definitely this is more than 0.05. Since this is more than 0.05, the null hypothesis accepted. That means there is no correlation between study time and the science marks. You can ask a question, sir. Just now we conducted a correlation. We found that there is a correlation between study time and science marks. Now you are telling that there is no correlation, there is no significant correlation between study time and science marks. What is this, sir? Yes, correct, you are right. Your question is right. But here, in the second case, there is a correlation between study time and science marks. There is no doubt in it. But when you are controlling the effect of intelligence on the study time and science marks, though there is a correlation between study time and science marks, but it is not statistically significant correlation. That means intelligence plays a role in impacting on the study time and science marks of the students concerned. Is that fine? Now, we have seen two things. One is bivariate correlation, and we had seen partial correlation. And these are the variables. This file will be with you. You can check for its practical use. Now, the second part, let me move on to next concept called regression. So regression is basically an extension of correlation. Only when two variables are correlated, you can think about conducting a regression. So in correlation, we just discussed whether two variables are correlated or related to each other or not. Whether there is a linear relationship existing between two variables or not. That is what we checked in correlation. Once you have found that there is a correlation between two variables, the next step can be to create a model, a linear equation. We are going to create a linear equation to find out what is the percentage of variance in the dependent variable that is contributed by the independence variable. For example, if a student scores marks, that may be due to many factors. Many factors may contribute to the marks scored by the students. Is study time, is intelligence, parent support, tuition classes, use of multimedia materials, good friends for studies, and many such reasons are there. And all these reasons will contribute a percentage to the marks of the students. So whatever marks scored by students will be accounted for by many variables. Each variable will have a role. A variable may have a higher role. Another variable may have a lower role. For example, when you talk about sports performance of a child, the number of hours he practices every day may give more weightage. And the skills he has learned may give a good weightage. The other factors like the kind of boot he wears, the kind of team spirit he has got may be contributing less. Here in regression, we are going to form a model, a simple linear equation model, which says that y is equal to a plus bx plus error. Here y and x are variables and y is the dependent variable. A is the constant or intercept. This constant value will be given by SPSS, and this x is the independent variable. The b is the value which will be given by SPSS called as slope, and there will be some percentage of error. It means that even if you see the effect of 5 variables on study time, the 5 variables may not be contributing 100% of variance in the marks. Apart from these 5 factors, there will be somebody else, something more. So those extra, the percentage of variance in the dependent variable which cannot be contributed by independent variables is termed as error, say residuals. So we are going to create this linear equation model to find out. For example, you want to find out you want to check a correlation between science marks and hours of study time. If there is a correlation, you want to conduct a regression to get an equation. The simple regression is science marks dependent variable is equal to constant, that will be given by SPSS, plus b slope. Slope also will be given by SPSS into the study time, the data what you collected, plus error. So approximately the science mark scored by a child will be equal to the constant value called the intercept plus the slope times of study time plus error. Now, this is a regression model. Here we will discuss about 2 regressions: simple linear regression and multiple regression model. What is the difference between these two? In simple linear regression, we have one independent variable and one dependent variable, and we are trying to examine what is the amount of variance in dependent variable that is being contributed by independent variable. But in the case of multiple regression, we have one dependent variable and we have many, maybe 3, maybe 2, maybe 4, maybe 5, maybe many independent variables. Fine. The variance in dependent variable is accounted for, is contributed by many independent variables. That is why you're going to form an equation under multiple regression. Fine. So correlation is basically an extension of regression, correlation then regression. Fine. Now let us move to the SPSS, and I have got SPS with me, which already we opened, and I have got this data. Let me use the same data for regression too. Let me do from a simple linear regression. I'll take study time and science marks. I know that there is a correlation between study time and science marks. Now I want to check what about the variance in science marks that is accounted for, that is contributed by study time. Though there are many factors that may contribute to the variance of science marks, what is the capacity of the variable study time in contributing to the variance of dependent variable? Fine. To do so, let me go to analyze. In analyze, go to linear, look for regression, go to analyze, come to regression. In regression, linear, because I told you we are going to discuss only about linear regression. So click on linear. Here, there's a box where select your dependent variable. Science marks is dependent variable, send it to dependent box. And then select study time, send it to independent variable. Now I have sent the variables to dependent and independent boxes. Here options, if you want, you can select your choices. Continue. So once these things are over, if you want any statistics like estimates, model fit by default, these two are included. If you want anything more also, you can add. But for the time being, I just leave it as such. These two are more than sufficient for us. I click on continue. Fine. And here, method says there are many methods of conducting regression analysis. Enter, stepwise, remove, backward, forward. The most popular things are enter and stepwise. Let me do enter method. So enter method is used for conducting a regression analysis, wherein all the independent variables will be taken into consideration to form the equation. If you select stepwise method, what SPSS does is that only those variables which are really correlated, only those variables which are significantly contributing to the variance of the dependent variable, only those independent variables will be selected and equation will be formed. So for the time being, I select enter. Okay, by default enter is available. I click OK. You can see here variables enter, remove. We have entered dependent variables science marks, and method chosen is the enter. And here you can see a model summary which says that there's only one model because we have got only one dependent variable, one independent variable. And the R square is nothing but Pearson correlation value. It shows that the correlation is positive, and it is good because the R value is 0.721. And here comes R square value, which is really a noteworthy point. The R square value is 0.519. It means that 51.9% of variance in the dependent variable is explained by the independent variable. That means 51.9% of variance in science marks is accounted for, is contributed by our independent variable called study time. Okay, fine. Let us come to our table, which says whether our independent variable is able to significantly contribute to the variance of dependent variable or not. We can check here. You can come here. The sig value is 0.019 is less than the threshold value of 0.05. It means that the model, the ANOVA model, the regression model, what we are developing is able to significantly our independent variable is significantly able to contribute to the variance in the dependent variable. So there is a clear-cut model ability that is being ensured here. And here regression says the how best our model is. Our model is having a mean square of 723.038. Residual error is just 80. That means that our model is able to express more variance of the dependent variable than what is possible by our errors. Errors means the other factors that have not come into the picture. Now let us go to the last box, coefficients. Here you can see the constant value, intercept and slope which is required for the equation. Here the constant value is 34.406 and study time is 0.745. And you can see here sig value is less than 0.05. It means that our model is reliable and it can significantly disclose a variance of dependent variable. And how to form the equation? The marks in science exam is equal to constant plus 0.745 into study time plus errors. So if you know the study time of a particular child, you can find out probably how much would he be storing in the science examination by forming this equation. Science mark is equal to 34.406 plus 0.745 multiplied by study time will tell you exactly, or not exactly, maybe approximately closer to the real value, the probable science marks that can be scored by students. So this is what the model creation using simple linear equation. I think it's clear to you. Now, let us move on to the last item of this particular session, multiple regression. As I told you, in multiple regression, we have one dependent variable called study time. In the previous case, I studied the effect of one independent variable on the variance of dependent variable. In this case, I want to study the effect of science mark, which is because of study time and intelligence. So here I have got two independent variables, namely study time and intelligence. And I have got one dependent variable called science marks. Fine. Now, let us try to do this now. Go to analyze, go to regression, click linear. Fine. Analyze, regression. In regression, click on linear. By default, let us reset this. I send science marks to dependent variable. But here I got two independent variables. I can select study time and intelligence. So I send both the variables to independence box and science marks dependence. But the method I have selected is the enter. Either you can go for enter, or if you're so particular, you go for stepwise also. But I stick on to enter method. Fine. And I just give OK. Let us see the results now. Same thing what you have seen now. You can see the variables enter, remove list. And here model summary says that the R value is 0.757. The correlation among the variables is Pearson value is 0.757. The correlation is positive and it's more than 0.7. It's really a good correlation. The R square value says that 0.573. It means that 57.3% of variance of the dependent variable can be contributed, can be attributed by two independent variables, namely study time and intelligence. Let us come to ANOVA. We have found only one model because we have taken both the independent variables into a single set. It says that the sig value is 0.051. That means that though our model can predict the science marks, it may not be so close to the original scores because the p-value is more than slightly more than 0.05. It means that though ANOVA model is okay, it's not that much good. Fine. Let us come down and go to coefficient. You can check the efficiency. Here we can get the constant 0.297, and here we have two slopes, one for study time, the other for intelligence. But if you come to the sig value, all the three sig values are more than 0.05. It means that our model may not be able to predict the science marks so close to the original scores. It may not be significantly contributing. Okay. But if you want to form an equation, the equation goes this way. Science marks is equal to constant plus 0.649 times of study time, 0.302 times of intelligence. So the equation goes this way. Science marks is equal to 0.297 plus 0.649 multiplied by study time plus 0.302 multiplied by intelligence scores. And this way we can form the equation. And depending on your data, the model can be the good, the model can be the best, the model cannot be the good one to predict the scores, to reveal the variance of the dependent variable. So till now, we discussed about four important things. One is correlation, then partial correlation, simple regression, and multiple regression. So go to analyze menu. We have correlate, bivariate, partial, both are available there. You go to analyze. There we have regression, click linear. We can have both the simple linear equation and multiple linear equation. And that's what about parametric test. Maybe I'll come back to you to have another session on non-parametric test. So thanks for watching. Thank you so much.